Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video of answering questions that none of you have asked for. I don't even think anyone's asked this one. Shit, okay, his video is going to be like 10 times better than mine. Anyway, I'm doing this on spectacular difficulty just because I haven't done ultimate before on a regular playthrough, and then also, well, I'm working on it. By the way, I'm going to be adding fall damage later on, but the rules are pretty simple. If I take any damage, whether it be from an opponent or the environment, I have to reset the last checkpoint. Not too bad. Y'all understand? Great. Let's get into this with some comedy. Sandman, of course, shows up and he throws a punch at us, which makes me just wonder, why is the beach never this kinky? I mean, goddamn, have you ever seen Spidey? Let's not look, people. Let's not stare. But I will tell you, these mini Marcos are giving me a terrible idea what Sandman does in his free time. Anyway, this opening section isn't too bad just because, well, they don't do much. Kind of a yawn. Things don't get that crazy for this entire first fight. However, that didn't stop me from taking damage as Miles Morales here, because, well, I mistimed the jump, which was my first official reset. Wahoo! I took another one here, and then a forced one here. Why? Because Insomniac feels the need to teach you how to heal. They do this in all their games. It's kind of annoying. Any instances like these where I have no control over what happens whatsoever will not be counted against me, because again, I can't control it. It's not my fault. Anyway, took another bit of damage here, and then finally spawned into this section where Peter was ready to take down Sandman, but then I noticed something peculiar. My health was at 40. I didn't know why, and it took me a second to notice until after I started the fight. But once I noticed it, I did actually restart the last checkpoint. Here's what's weird though. When I loaded back in, my health was at 40. It was not like that before the cutscene. I think it's the game's weird way of trying to get you to balance healing and special takedowns. I don't know. Just this one didn't count for me either because, again, I didn't do anything to get my health that low this early. Sandman was finally defeated. I began questioning where he got that jacket from and why does he look like he really just wants to fuck us. Granted, some of the villains will fuck us, but not Sandman. Okay, maybe a little. As long as he agrees to not get sand everywhere. I took a couple bits of damage from different thugs as both Peter and Miles, but we of course see this guy spazzing out. Here's the damage from Miles, and then Peter gets fired from his job, because again, it's not a Spider-Man piece of media if Peter isn't struggling with work or anything like that. Seriously, think about it. In how many games have you not seen Peter have job troubles? By the way, this is a good time to mention activities such as crimes and side missions. If I don't mention them, it's because actually it's a combination of things. I didn't take damage and they weren't interesting. I did have to do a lot of these, but I promise you, aside from 2 boss fights, every single time that I had to reset, you guys are going to see in this video, and I'll explain why along the way. I did take damage here whenever I failed the quick time event. Found out that the true enemy of life is builds. Let it be known, kids, this is why you don't want to grow up. At least today. Then, we finally got to see something interesting. So see, Scorpion and Martin Lee are they're not doing anything, but these guys are attempting to break them out, so I was trying to figure out how to word it. Again, I don't really write scripts that well, but the game tries to teach you as you... Sir, it's really late. The parry mechanic, which would have been nice if I remembered to use it, but dodging was another story. I'm pretty bad at parrying, as you'll see throughout this video. Miles, of course, tries to be a hero and breaks someone out of jail. You'll never guess who it is. Yeah, it's Scorpion. And how is Scorpion rewarded? Oh, he stabs the fuck out of Miles. And by that I mean he gives him a scratch, but Miles treats it as if he had been stabbed. Miles is gonna get lightly bullied in this video. Fuck you, whoever emailed me, for God's sakes. Miles took a bit more damage, and then we saw their leader, who's just a giant furry, and I will be referring. Miles, of course, let Martin Lee go because, well, he had no sense of camaraderie and no sense that he could just kill and get away with it. What is someone gonna do? Stop him? Bit more damage against cultists. Guys, I was getting terrified, okay? We haven't even made it to the boss fights yet, and I'm already at this point in the damage with 14 resets. I'm kinda scared right now. This is at the point where I decided that things were too easy even though I just complained about it, and I turned off the fall damage, or turned it on, whichever one, I don't know anymore. I made it harder. By the way, the game forced you to upgrade your first bit of suit health on this suit tech tree, but I never put any points to it because it doesn't matter if my health is 1 or 200, any damage is any damage. But the damage, focus, and traversal, I upgraded those, mainly damage and traverse and focus. I forgot about the health and immediately took damage from fall, and then did the exact same thing again because I can't remember. By the way, this choppy frame rate is something I had to deal with for a while. I don't know why. I took some more damage against cultists, which was annoying, and then I returned to teacher. I did this to start the Brooklyn Vision Academy missions because most of them don't even have actual combat in them, which is great for easy experience and everything. I did most of them, not all. Took a bit more damage as Peter, and then finally got to feed the fish. Guys, this is the best thing ever. I don't know if y'all have fish. I have a beta. His name's Neptune. I fucking love this dude. Maybe I'll put him in here, maybe I won't. Who knows? But he's mine, and I love him. You better love him too, because he's awesome. I don't know why. I got a welcoming into the company because let's be honest here, I think Harry's getting a little bit obsessed with me. Just look at the way he's sitting there, and now look at the way he stares at me. This guy is in love with me. I got worried again. See, this area here, you can take them down with stealth, but I didn't do that. That would have been smart. I wanted to be cool, and I took damage quite a bit because of that. But guys, I discovered something even worse. Black Cat was on their hit list. My boo, my side chick, my sugar bae. The furry ended up killing Scorpion, but who really cares about that? I mean, come on, we got Black Cat to save here. Who wants to see the furry kill another furry? Miles took damage, but I don't know when, so I counted it as 2 just to be safe. It was a really weird coincidence. Finally, it was time to save Black Cat. I sent Miles in my place because I knew his lack of Riz would make sure that Peter could hook up with her in the 3rd game. Unfortunately, she wasn't going to stay around for long. She had a weird wand, but I was more or less just mesmerized by her outfit. Meow. Okay, I promise that'll be the last cat pun, and the only. One change later, Black Cat goes away to save her life. And apparently she's a lesbian? I guess, I don't know. I take a bit more damage from cultists, become a DJ because it's my life mission. No longer it's not. I became a Tumblr artist as I threw out myself out there like, good God. I equipped this hat, which immediately added a 5+ stealth bonus and 3+ dodge to my total stats, and then beat the ever-loving shit out of these things, like, God. Started the fight, thankfully in my weird anime suit, and guys, I was fully ready to accept that I wasn't going to get my hat in this fight, but oh boy was I excited. And this hat made it so easy. I don't even think I took damage a single instance during this big fight. But so many things happened. I mean, wow. Talking about an eventful first 7.5 minutes of this video. I met Yuri, wasn't a big fan of her hair, but I didn't hate it either. I could just live with it, I guess. And then I attempted to infiltrate this place. I was in my all-white outfit because I thought it'd be funny just seeing a white spider creep throughout this place and not get detected. Oh yeah, Harry has powers now. Didn't I tell you? Come on, keep up here. It's like you guys don't even notice the unimportant details. But with Harry here, things were no longer going to be stealthy, which is fine. I was getting tired of stealth anyway. It's too easy. But I will tell you, this mission unfortunately caused me some issues. Mainly being after I take damage, I didn't realize that my health wasn't completely full like you guys can see until after I had already done the checkpoint. So, as a result, I decided to restart the mission entirely by abandoning it and then going back to it. This was what I seemed fair. I did take some more hits on the inside, but we're counting those because I suck. Save Tombstone was pretty easy. Harry went to check and make sure the coast is clear. Miles decided to demonstrate his love by showing his affection dance. Maybe it's his mating ritual. I'm really not sure at this point. Miles, however, did take a couple of bits of damage here, turned into a nuke, and I quite literally mean a nuke, just not a good one. And then he saved a little drum. We don't know what it's for or who it's for. MJ got herself kidnapped intentionally, and I will admit, I'm not as hateful about the MJ missions as I thought I would be in this run. Like, for the most part, you can't really take damage as her, so I get to skip over all of the sections, but she's got a taser. I did want to show this off, like, look at this. She just rips this thing right out of her as if it's nothing. Good God, MJ belongs on a SWAT team or something at this point. I don't know, whoever knows. Harry and I eventually showed up to save the day because MJ couldn't handle it. I took a bit of damage, acquired the symbiote after being stabbed. And I do mean acquired the symbiote, guys. This thing was all mine now. Went on a mini rampage, and guys, I'm so glad I didn't take damage in this section because, like, this was one of my favorite scenes whenever I got to play through it on my first time because I just felt so powerful. And I bet you all did too. It's like when your dad actually comes back, or you actually get that text back from a girl instead of you being a simp like a loser. I know, it's me too. By the way, I'm speed running through a bit of this, but I did want to show you some funny things that I thought. Everything was going good. I was dodging guns and everything left and right until I got shot with the rocket launcher and then the net caught me. A fucking net. I'm kind of dying. Guys, I got someone's arm pinned, and I'm kind of scared. I think I'm going to go to jail at this point for murder. I'm going to have to leave baby Morales here to watch over New York City. Took some more damage, befriended a tiger temporarily. And then I'm just throwing everything in here, like you take the damage in the club, outside the church, maybe in the church, at the EMF. I'm throwing this all together because, guys, this video is already longer than I normally like my videos to be, but hey, whoop-de-doo. Part of the thing here is numbers. It is a lot easier to do a 1v1 versus like a 20v1. EMF is destroyed. I was very big sad, but at least Peter Parker didn't have a life to live anymore. So now I can focus on full-time on curing my Pookie Morales. Yes, I know I called him Baby Morales, but now he's Pookie Morales. You got a problem with that? Good, it's my video and I can't tell what page of the script I'm on. And that means it Anyway, Miles does yoga. Nice helps anyway. Miles can't do yoga because of his outfit, but we don't judge him for trying. We accept him. He has a talk with his father, who gives him a story about vengeance, and so he decides to become the Shadow Knight. Frankly, I love this suit for Miles, and I thought it'd be a lot of fun. I thought Miles was ready. Until he wasn't, and he proved that by somehow taking a rocket launcher directly at him, causing me to reset. So, Peter came back into the play. His symbiote was ready for a thrashing, and oh boy, was he gonna thrash. And this was honestly pretty easy. Miles again tried to raise up his boo with no success, took fall damage and died, so I modified his suit with the safety helmet to be the ugliest color that was available to me. Don't worry, I'll look much uglier later, and intentionally. But this mission wasn't too bad. It's an on-the-rails section with a stealth section, so it's pretty hard to fuck it up if you're actually trying, which at this point I was because I knew things would get rough. Then we have the Lizard Boss fight. By the way, at this point I'm at 54 total resets. You're going to see these. A lot of them are going to be in montages of me taking damage because I feel like that's something you guys might enjoy, but I will be telling you what I start out with, hopefully, what I end with, and an overall vibe of the experience. This one wasn't too bad if I was actually paying attention. Like I said, it wasn't too bad if I actually paid attention. A lot of the attacks are pretty well telegraphed, but we ended out this one with 85 resets, so about a 30-ish jump, not too bad. Kirk Connors came back. We didn't really listen to him whenever he told us about the suit. We kind of just accepted that we're wearing an alien. I don't know if that means that we're into a lot of erotic stuff. I don't know why I need to go take a bath. After my bath, I decided that I needed to do some more side questing in order to level up myself with more experience points and more abilities to upgrade my tools. That didn't turn out well. Why? Because I took damage from a bird. Then I started the Yuri boss fight. It's not ideal, but again, it's here. This fight isn't too bad. We started out with 87 different variations of resetting. I say that because, well, I reset in a bunch of different ways. Yuri was a lot harder to beat initially because of the fact of her weapon having a lot of range, and I was still not good at parrying again. Like, a lot of you are going to be like, oh, if I parried, I'd save myself so much trouble. Yes, you are right. I wish I knew I got myself to get good at parrying. That was not happening though. And then Yuri throws the smoke bombs and everything. It's too fucking ridiculous for me. I'm trying my best here. But the good news is, I got sexual attention with Yuri after I finally beat her after 118 total resets. Not on the fight, just in total. Next up, I get top back so I can go 90-night. MJ upgrades her block with a Spidey web shooter. I take a couple of hits as Miles, and then Miles gets himself captured. Pookie Morales may be in danger, but Peter wouldn't figure that out for a long later. Who knows what? Martin Li boss fight. Starting out at 129 total resets, this fight wasn't too bad. A lot of the moves I knew, it was just reminding myself like certain patterns that he does, because I kept forgetting, like, oh, he'll do a 3 combo this way. Like his introduction combo took me over 10 minutes just to master it down because I kept forgetting I didn't need to dodge at a certain point. God, it's like 4:30 of me doing this, 4:30 a.m. But again, a lot of the fights are my own stupidity is what's causing me failure. But I will tell you, I did have to take quite a few resets where I ended up beating Martin Li finally at 164. I wanted to kill him, but Pookie Morales was better than me, so he sends Martin Li away. I didn't like this, neither did the furry. Again, I don't know what this furry is going to do to Morales now. As Peter, I was ready to go after him. I wanted a big boost, and I face planted into a building, killing me. Inside, I told this guy, "Where the fuck is my Pookie?" He pointed the way, and I decided to reward him by not killing him. Kraven had shown me Pookie Morales. Guys, I was concerned. What had he done to him? His mask. That was new. Alright, the Kraven fight was rough. I started at 166 resets. And again, I would have great runs like this one where it's like I start out strong, I get a good amount of attacks in, I get some distance. The mines that he pulls out are like hell on earth. But also, this section of the game particularly is pretty bad because you jump from boss fight to boss fight to boss fight. And these, like, don't get me wrong, I'm going to complain about these while I'm here. They are nowhere near the hardest boss fights in the game. Downright, I have 2 boss fights that I have excluded from the video entirely because they took too damn long. But see, it always starts out as taking damage like that. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This was a final bit of running on him. I beat him with, however, what fucking page am I on this script? 212. Took me to the 212th reset in order to finally beat him. But then we're thrown into something great. There's a slight issue. The Peter versus Miles boss fight, where we are playing as Pookie Morales. So I have to confess, I made an error. So on my first, whenever I beat the game, I didn't realize I forgot to record the first 2 phases of this boss fight, so I had to go back through, load an old save, and redo the entire first 2 phases. You'll see a cutscene that separates them. As a punishment for this, I did 20 resets, because I had upgrades. So whenever I loaded in, it was back on the Yuri mission. I didn't do any of that stuff without taking damage. I got through all of it. Got some tokens, leveled myself up roughly what I thought I was at, but I might have been a bit higher, so I added the 20 additional sins. And then, finally, Peter went down. And by the way, I said 20, but I'm thinking more like 30. That'll be okay, right guys? It's my video. I can do whatever the hell I want. This last phase was also hell. Again, remember, we started at the 213th reset, and we ended at the 252nd reset. This one was rough. But luckily, we were finally able to save our boy Pete. And I don't want to do this again, guys. I'm so tired. I mean, it's 4:30 here, and I'm finishing the editing, but this video took so long to make. Luckily, Pookie Morales saved Peter Parker, and I already knew he had to get punishment. I don't know why Miles gave him the Symbiote, because it would have made more sense for Miles to go with him, make sure he didn't fall for it again. But here we are. I named Peter Parker Cheese. Spider Cheese, more specifically, and trust me, it was lovely. Now let's get on to the Venom section. A lot of you are probably thinking, whenever you hear what this challenge is, that the Venom section would be easy. It wasn't hard, but it was annoying, because the game makes you a tank, but taking damage of any kind is still not allowed. So so I took damage quite a few times, mostly from grenades, oddly enough. Like, I got shot, but grenades were a problem. This gunship was real fucking annoying, and I'll show you why. I counted this as another inevitable section. The main reason I count it as an inevitable section is because once you drop down here, before I can even start running, I take damage. And see, I thought about replacing it, but I didn't. This boss fight was incredibly easy. After the hell Kraven gave Peter, I thought Venom was going to be even worse. But, you know how it is. We start at the 260th reset. By that I mean this one only took 2 resets. Whenever we end, we are at a grand total of 261 resets. Venom is in our hand. And there goes any monetization hopes. I forgot that he did that. Back with Spider Cheese, we take on our first group of symbiotes. They are both as hard and not as hard as I expected. Not as hard due to my gadgets and my powers. Hard enough because I don't remember them being that fast, but I also forgot about the anti-venom power-up that you get, so that was kind of annoying. I created a beat with Miles because what else is he gonna do here besides help us create music? And then Miles and Peter both took some damage along the way, but mostly Peter on this one. I think it was the cheese suit that was affecting him. And then this hell on Earth. Listen here, that fridge may have been a bastard. Venom may have been a jerk who dragged MJ all over the floor, was choking her real hard, and then grabbing stuff down her throat. And you know what? He pulled her down to get her to suck him off. I don't know what I'm doing. Can we just admit that the MJ boss fight is pretty bad for this? I don't know where it's going with that. But this is one of the boss fights I'm excluding because I have legitimately over 1 hour of solid footage against her. I am not putting that in this video. I will tell you right now, it is a hell of a lot of boss fights. We started out 269 resets total. Guys, this boss fight took about 93 total. I just rechecked. 93 total resets to beat. I was not going to put that all in this video. Otherwise, this video would be like 45 minutes. Again, I don't know where I was joking. In this fight, I don't condone domestic abuse or violence against anyone. But this bitch was making me want to commit a war crime of my own here. But we finally did beat her and got the symbiote off of her. Yay! A few more bits of damage here scattered around here with the different Spider-Men, but luckily I had a benefit. Pookie Morales said the magic word to wake up, and I did. I obeyed his command, and of course, Pookie being so adorable, I got myself covered in white. That doesn't mean what you think it means. I don't even know what that means. Anyway, I got the new anti-venom suit, and guys, this is exactly what I needed, considering the fact that they provide the buffs. And holy cow, this is what I've been needing in my life. A buff to symbiotes when the entire game is against symbiotes now. I still took a few, by a few I mean a lot of damage, because I was doing a lot of missions to grind out tokens to use for upgrades and then XP to level up my skills. I'm so sorry about this, but eventually he became Barbie Parker. Barbie Parker had to meet with Pookie Morales. What the He is no longer Pookie Morales. He is now Barbie Morales because he wants to be so ridiculous. Don't worry, I'll make sure they match eventually, just gotta get through this cutscene. I promised you he would match. It's not the best, but he is pink. So now we have the Barbie Parker and Barbie Morales. Let's hope I can remember that this time in the script. This section was a nightmare just due to the amount of enemies again, but overall, if you have enough gadgets, you should be relatively fine. However, once you go inside, we get another section that I am not a fan of, because again, it's an involuntary damage-taking segment, because once you get in here, you see the health randomly drops and then refills itself. It did it quite a bit throughout this, but since I have no control over it, it's not counting towards our total run. So, loop-de-doop-de-doo, let's go on. Then, Parker had to do some more damage against Venom and Harry because he can't give up on his friend with the power of friendship. 3 damages later, we had a problem. Pookie Morales was still trying to flirt with his bae, maybe got a date, but I think he's still a simp at this point. Took 1 more bit of damage as Parker, and then really went to town on these guys. Like, god damn, you'd make people think this is a race where how much white is being thrown on these symbiotes. That sounds really bad. I don't know why I'm making these jokes anymore. Finally, 1 last bit of damage run after I failed to stop the brute, and then it was time. We had a plan. The plan was simple. take their rock, steal the rock. And I was not ready. I skipped over the MJ segments again because, well, they're kind of boring here, but I will mention she's got a hell of a trigger finger. When this guy comes at me fast, I take him down in 2 shots, and then I go around, light this guy up, and then I light the guy up in the corner as well. God damn. Next we get to the Peter versus Venom boss fight. This is the last boss fight you guys are going to see on screen, just because, again, I am not counting Miles versus Venom. I don't remember if I said that earlier, but it's because this fight took so long, and each respective Peter versus Venom and Miles versus Venom had over an hour's worth of footage. I wanted to keep this video under 30 minutes, or at the most 30 minutes. This was going to be the price that I had to pay, and tell me, I was more than happy to pay it. Starting at a grand total of 404 current resets for the entire playthrough. Gonna be thrashing, bashing, we get a few hits in and a good couple of wham-jam combos. Because the combos don't last forever. I don't know what voice I'm doing anymore, I can't really do it. Sorry, I'm trying to keep the script up here. That's a lie, you know I don't have a script. Anyway, you know what, I am curious. Let me know what challenges you guys would like to see further along the lines. I thought about doing like a no gadget or no powers run on this one, but I haven't quite decided if that's something I want to do. So let me know if you're interested. And then I am planning on doing a Fallout game, either 3 New Vegas or 4, preferably 4 New Vegas, on only using a switchblade. Let me know if either of those would be interesting to you guys. If not, I'll probably make it anyway, but I would like to know what interests you guys. If you have any other specific requests, maybe I go back to Mirage or something, please let me know. Again, I only make these videos because I think it's fun, and it gives me an excuse to try and say, hey, this is why I'm failing at the game. I'm under a certain challenge. Alright, so, we're finally at the ending with this one, where it took us up to a total of 471 resets against this. I didn't use my finisher here because I thought the other phases were going to be here with Peter against Venom. They're not. Miles did the most unnecessary backflip of all backflips, and it was annoying because somehow without my consent, Pookie Parker took damage. I keep calling him Pookie, it's Barbie Parker. Barbie Morales unfortunately also had to wear his own ugly suit. I could have changed it potentially, but I really didn't want to take the time because at this point I just wanted to get this run over with. Again, I'm skipping over this entire fight because this is just god-awful. Again, I had to sit through an entire hour of me just getting my ass whooped. But I will promise to tell you the total in the very end, which isn't bad at all. So, I did have a couple of good runs. As you can see, if you can keep Venom on the ropes, then you have a chance. But the problem is, it doesn't really happen often. Keyword, often. After beating Venom, he was very unhappy. I didn't care. I just wanted to win. Me and Parker gave him the 1-2 combo Barbie style, even though we're not really Barbie. I guess we're the ugly combo now, but oh my god, this is unfair. We double teamed his ass. I truly have no idea anymore if these jokes are actually working, but with the final wallop, Venom goes down, and we get a grand total of 609 total resets after I push the button to kill Harry. At least until the 3rd game. I don't know what happens then. Sorry for the crazy upload this one, guys. So part of the reason is I saw that Senza was uploading his, and I wanted to make sure like it wouldn't look like I was directly copying him, which I did my best not to. I don't like copying people, but anyway, this one was kind of crazy, but it's been in the works for a while. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you do, make sure to like and subscribe. And you know what? I just hope you all have a fantastic day and the rest of your weekend.
What I should have been talking to